We're going to wrap up this chapter just trying to put all of this into perspective. We've studied simple and compound interest savings accounts and loans. We've talked about how to save for retirement using an annuity plan. We've talked about how to calculate a car payment, how to calculate a house payment, how to determine the total interest on a loan. Those are very important, practical, everyday skills. But managing finances is a big responsibility. One of my favorite radio and TV personalities is Dave Ramsey. And here is his personal financial plan. This is a curriculum that they sometimes use in high schools, and I wanted to share it with you because there's a lot to think about from this chapter. So how do you put it in perspective, and what are the steps? In which order should I take care of all these financial tasks? On the left side, this is Dave Ramsey's list of habits of wealthy people. Now, when we encounter a wealthy person, it may not necessarily be a celebrity who drives a fancy car and lives in a big house. A wealthy person is someone who has simply managed their finances well. Here are the habits that he has discovered through his research. Number one, they develop a written plan, which is a budget for finances, and you stick to it. Number two, pay off and avoid all debt. If you have credit card debt, if you have student loan debt, make that your first priority and pay that off and stay out of debt. Number three, this is a big one for us to learn in our culture, live on less than you make. Number four, save money. Dave Ramsey says that the greatest predictor that you will retire with dignity is simply that you have put money aside to save for the future. And then wealthy people, number five, also give generously. So how do I achieve that? What are the practical and specific steps, and in what order do I need to do these things in order to be financially secure? He calls these the baby steps for personal financial success. Number one, begin by saving $1,000 for an emergency fund. Now, Dave Ramsey recommends if you're in college, that may be $500. But if you are a college student and you're also supporting kiddos or taking care of other family members, then $1,000 is a good emergency fund. So make that your first priority when you start working. Or as you're working, save $1,000 for emergencies. That is, an emergency is not a trip to Oklahoma City. That is for your, blown tire, or again, your trip to the ER doctor that was unexpected. So get that emergency fund ready to go. Number two, pay off all debt except for your home. So this may include credit cards, this may include medical bills, this may include student loans, and that step may take quite a while, but make it a priority. Dave Ramsey teaches that if instead of sending your money to debt, you are sending your money to a retirement account or a savings account, then your wealth grows instead of disappearing. So once you have all of your debt paid off except the house, number three, then go back to your emergency fund. Build it up, make it beefy, save between 3 to 6 months of expenses. As I'm recording this video, we are in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, and I think we are all feeling the reach of emergency, and having the 3 to 6 months of expenses for many people means that they can survive through possibly losing their job during this crisis, or maybe having hours reduced. So saving 3 to 6 months of expenses is becoming apparently very wise as we are all walking through this time together. Now, once you have that beefy savings account, again, that's for emergencies. What happens if the roof is leaking? How am I going to fix that? I've got my 3 to 6 months of expenses. What if I lose my job? My family and I can survive because we've got that 3 to 6 months of expenses in our savings account. Now, once that is established, number four, that's when you start thinking about those annuities that we learned about, or mutual funds. Number four, put 15% of your income towards retirement. Now, back over here, that involves number three. I'm not going to spend everything that I make. I'm going to live on less that I make so that I can designate some of it for saving for the future towards retirement. Number 5, then you focus on saving for your children's college education. You can set up something similar to an annuity for your kiddos so that you can help them through college. Maybe you are here in this class paying your own way. Maybe you're dealing with student loans and you don't want to put that burden on your children. You can change your legacy and you can save for their future. And then finally, number 6, pay off your mortgage early. And that's what we were talking about in the previous video with our early payoff calculators. Once you are free from all debt, you've got your retirement set up, you're saving for your kiddos, then you can look at adding that extra $100, $200, maybe sending your tax refund to your mortgage every year. And step 7 is the most fun. Build your wealth and give generously. Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else so that you can live and give like no one else. So what I like about these baby steps is that it gives you an order, gives you a focus of how to walk a wise financial path out there. As we've studied all of these topics, it may seem overwhelming. You're anxious to get started on saving for your retirement, but then you've got some debt to deal with, or you don't have savings. Again, this gives you an order and steps to follow, one at a time, in order to be financially stable. So I hope that you find this helpful, and I hope that you've enjoyed this chapter on finance. In the next chapter, it will again be very different. We'll begin with our probability and statistics. Once you finish your homework for chapter 8, you can then begin the review and go take that exam. And best of luck to you on the exam.